Now on our late news, heavy rains leave their mark on the 4 states and strong winds bring down power poles in southwest Missouri. Plus, we have advice from the experts on staying safe during possible flooding conditions. And President Trump took a victory lap tonight as he made the case for his second term's agenda to the American people, but not without some protests and controversy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
It's an early taste of spring weather. This is 530 Road east of Pittsburgh this afternoon, where runoff from the rain has filled low-lying areas. And more precipitation is ahead, some falling now. It could include snow tonight. To top it off, we're expecting potentially damaging wind gusts. This is KOAM News at 10, a little bit later than usual. I'm Dow Quick. It's not severe, but the weather has already left some damage, leading to power outages. We're going to have more on that in a moment, but first let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Well, of course, we've had showers. We had thunderstorms for us today. Now we're sitting all rain, but we're going to switch over to at least some light snow here shortly. So kind of rain, a little bit of snow mixing in by 11 p.m. We dip back to about 30 degrees. Super windy for us tonight. We're going to have gusts 40, 45, 50. May hit 55, so any snow we do get is going to be near zero visibility, even though it's not going to be super heavy. It's just the wind across the region. It stays super windy all day long for us tomorrow. Finally, tomorrow evening, the winds will start to back off just a little bit. Wind advisory in effect, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, south of I-44. In the purple here, we have a high wind warning. Bluish purple, this is a winter weather advisory due to that snow, which is going to be pushing in. You can already see the snow kind of turning over in eastern parts of Kansas. We are now on the backside of the storm system. Good news, once we switch all over to snow, it doesn't stick around very long. We only have maybe a couple hours, so it's going to have to come down at a pretty good clip to cause some issues on the roadways. We're going to be talking more about this and what is to come, all coming up here in just a bit.
See then, strong winds earlier today brought down multiple power poles on Hazel Avenue between Airport Drive and Fur Road in Jasper County, forced a road closure and caused a power outage in that area. Authorities had urged drivers to avoid the area while repairs were underway, but Carthage Water and Electric says all pole repairs have been completed and normal traffic has resumed on Hazel Avenue. The National Weather Service is highlighting flood safety today during severe weather preparedness week. Amid the downpour of rain, the 4 state search and rescue chief wants to remind people that just 6 inches of swiftly moving water can knock someone off their feet, and a foot of water, well, that can sweep away some cars. The city of Miami's fire chief says because Miami tends to be flood prone, their department has done plenty of water rescues in the past.
Closest to the river in the southwest part of town, I think, are most prone to having being impacted by our floodwaters. But there's several streets throughout town, Elm Street, 22nd, Highway 125. They all flood pretty easily.
According to weather.gov, floods kill more people in the U.S. each year than any other thunderstorm-related hazard. As the weather warms up, some experts in Joplin want to remind you that more motorcyclists are going to be hitting the roads soon. The Missouri Department of Transportation reported 133 fatalities involving motorcyclists last year.
So most people I've seen, a lot of people buy chest protectors that are reflective. We do give away, anytime we sell a motorcycle, I have little reflective tail light plate holders that I'll screw on there when they get their temp tag. I'll give them little reflectors on there so that way they're pretty visible.
Always just be aware of what's in front of you and behind you. Of course, always with road conditions, adjust your riding based on road conditions with weather.
According to MoDOT, most crashes happen in urban areas. However, most fatal crashes happen in rural areas. President Trump addressed a joint session of Congress and the American people tonight, highlighting his accomplishments during his first 6 weeks back in the White House. He took the occasion as a victory lap, but Democrats see a very different picture. Erica Brown reports on the speech and the reaction from Capitol Hill.
President Trump got an enthusiastic welcome from Republicans in the House chamber and an icy one from Democrats as he addressed a joint session of Congress.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years.
The speech had just started when Texas Representative Al Green repeatedly interrupted the president. He was escorted out. Trump's address came less than 24 hours after tariffs on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China went into effect, triggering retaliatory measures and tumbling stocks on Wall Street. Some economists have warned the tariffs could eventually raise prices.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly.
Trump touched on Russia's war with Ukraine following his contentious meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. With Elon Musk in attendance, the president endorsed his Department of Government Efficiency and slashing the size of the federal government. Some Democratic lawmakers invited fired workers to watch the speech.
Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
Trump's overall theme for his speech tonight was renewal of the American dream, and he returned to the signature issue of his campaign, border security.
We quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded.
Senior administration officials told CBS News Trump was heavily involved in the writing of his speech, making his own edits. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Some Democrats wore bright pink as a protest against the president and what they say are policies that are hurting women. Freshman Senator Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan delivered the Democratic Party's response to the president's speech. The Fairland boys high school basketball team hopes to party like it's 1925. John Dales has more on the Owls' hoop dreams. That'll be coming up later in sports. But first, students at Pitt State got a look at their potential futures today at the annual Spring Career Fair. Miami, Oklahoma residents will soon have a chance to learn more about a proposed bioprocessing project near Quapaw. Argo Development Partners, along with the Miami Area Economic Development Service, will host an open house for the Oklahoma Bioprocessing Project. That open house will provide an overview of the project, which aims to convert poultry litter into renewable natural gas and fertilizer. Also give the public a chance to ask questions. That open house is going to take place a week from tonight, Tuesday, March 11th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Miami Civic Center. Pittsburgh State University hosted its annual spring fair today. Recruiters from a variety of industries gathered at the Plaster Center to connect with students of all majors and classifications. The Office of Career Development organized the event to give students the chance to network, explore internships, and pursue job opportunities. For event organizers, networking is the name of the game.
Employers from all across the board. So every employer is going to represent each college in some way. So we have College of Arts and Science, there's employers here for them. College of Education, there's employers here for them. College of Technology and College of Business, all here to recruit for students within those colleges.
Yeah, a whopping 140 companies attended. Today, the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce invited the public out to experience the flavors and charms of Italy. The chamber hosted a Taste of Tuscany, an event featuring Tuscan cuisine, Italian atmosphere, and they say great company. The event also served as a way for the chamber to promote its upcoming international getaway trip to Tuscany. Some call it Mardi Gras, but it's also referred to as Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, when the Lenten season of fasting begins. This evening, the Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Frontenac hosted a Mardi Gras parish dinner. Attendees enjoyed New Orleans cuisine, bingo, and prizes.
Yeah, I think the emotions are high. There's always some anxiety with Lent. There's some fears. There's some excitement. There are people that love Lent. They like to suffer, you know. There are people that don't like Lent because it's hard. We deny ourselves. We get in a daily practice of saying no to ourselves in some way, and that's hard.
The French name Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday. Some of the custom of using all the fats in the home before Lent in preparation for fasting and abstinence. It's all about tradition for the Fort Scott Kiwanis Club today. That group hosted its annual Shrove Tuesday pancake feed for the 102nd year. If you're curious about the significance of eating pancakes specifically on Shrove Tuesday, well, it actually dates back about 1,500 years when Christians were banned from eating all meat and animal products during Lent. So they made pancakes to use up their eggs, milk, and butter.
It's a fellowship thing, you know, it's a tradition that we do every year. This is Fat Tuesday. We started doing it on that, so it's just something the community, I think that we get good support from our corporate sponsors, and so it kind of reaches out to those people that work for different corporations, different companies in town.
The Kiwanis provides funding for youth activities in the community like swimming passes and skating rink tickets. Doug's going to return next with a complete look at your forecast, and a little bit later, some third graders in Southwest Missouri pit their engineering skills against Mother Nature.
Well, of course, kind of a dreary day for us today. Showers, thunderstorms. Some of those were strong to just below severe limits earlier this morning. Then a little bit of a lull, and then showers and a few thunderstorms picked up again once we got into the evening hours. The winds have really been picking up, and that's going to continue as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Tonight, we tumble out of the 40s into the 30s, near 30. Later on tonight, we get a rain switching over to a little bit of snow across portions of the region, especially on the Missouri side. So winter weather advisory due to that, Yates Center to Fort Scott, Nevada, Lamar, Joplin, over towards Springfield. In this more purple color, we're looking at a high wind warning due to those gusts, 50, upwards of 55 at times, and then a wind advisory in the southern half of the region. But look at these gusts. I mean, 40, 45, 50 at times, maybe even 55. It stays this way all morning. Then finally, the winds start to come down tomorrow night, heading into Thursday morning. But really, the next 24 hours, yeah, it's going to be super windy. All right, good rainfall amounts. Everybody in the green, at least an inch. Then when you get closer to the yellow, we're talking 2, 3, upwards to 4 inches. Once you get into our western county. So a soaker across the region, which, hey, we definitely need. Now we're on the backside of this storm system. Here's the dry slot, eastern Missouri. So we're on the backside, the calm ahead of this monster storm system that covers a ton of real estate. Look at this, from the Gulf all the way up into southern Canada. But again, we're on the backside. So as it pushes through, then we see our conditions really improve as we go into Wednesday. All right, rain switching over to snow. Good news here, it doesn't last long, especially in Missouri, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. Kansas, Oklahoma, it really doesn't last very long at all. So we're not going to have big accumulations, but if we can get a couple bands that are heavier, and of course, remember the wind is going to be blowing it sideways, then sure, we could get a little bit of accumulation across the region. How much could we get? Well, I think most of us will get a dusting. That means just a little white layer. And then upwards to an inch in spots. But most of us a dusting, 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 an inch. I think that's going to be average. But with temperatures kind of hovering above freezing, I don't really see a lot of issues on the roadways, but there could be a few slushy, slick spots in the morning, so just be careful. But again, not a huge deal. Whatever does fall will be gone by noon, and then high temps into low to mid 40s on Wednesday afternoon. Kind of cold Wednesday night. We dip back mid to upper 20s, and then Thursday we start to rebound. Look at this. High temps back into the mid 50s for afternoon highs. We do have another storm system that could give us a few showers as we head into Saturday. 33 to start, 39 by noon. High temp of 43 degrees on your Wednesday. Back to 56 Thursday, 65 on Friday. A little bit cooler over the weekend, a few showers. And then look at this, upper 60s to near 70 degrees most of next week. Dow?
Doug, thanks. A list of office buildings earmarked for closure now includes a NOAA facility in Norman, Oklahoma. That's according to the Department of Government Efficiency website. Matt McCabe takes a look at the potential impact.
Severe weather looms over Oklahoma on a cloudy Monday, but budget cuts at the National Weather Service cast some doubt about what comes next. Oklahoma's Department of Emergency Management says it's monitoring the situation.
We're, communicating with them this week with the severe weather being forecast for yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
The NWS and NOAA have not said exactly how many employees at the Norman office were terminated.
We haven't talked to them directly about their staffing levels, but the services that they've traditionally provided, they're still providing at this time.
But now another nearby office, the Radar Operations Center, also in Norman, is set to have its lease pulled by the Department of Government Efficiency. Agency spokespersons have not confirmed what happens to the equipment, people, or services based out of the facility.
We're very hopeful that the same level of service that we've received from the National Weather Service for many years will continue. That would certainly be our preference. We appreciate working with them and appreciate the services that they provide and the information they provide.
A message outside the National Weather Center in Norman turns attention to what's happening behind the scenes.
The decision marks the 15th federal building lease in Oklahoma terminated under the direction of the newly established entity led by billionaire Elon Musk. Still ahead, Fairland boys basketball prepares for its trip to state, and Southeast boys basketball tries to punch its ticket to the sub-state championship game. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Fairland boys high school basketball had not made the state tournament in 100 years. No, seriously, 1925 is the first and only time that the Owls made it to state. That is, until this past weekend. Fairland High School basketball hits the practice floor this afternoon. The Owls are coming off a win over Wyandotte in the final round of the area tournament to finish as runner-up. That means this Thursday, Fairland is set to face Hartshorn in the first round of the 2A state tournament in Oklahoma City. And that's a journey that's been quite literally 100 years in the making.
The last 2 years, we've been 2 games away both times, in games we thought we should have won. And just to finally make it and actually be here is crazy.
It's a blessing, to be honest. I mean, everyone else's season's ending. A couple teams left, only a couple more games left. We're just grateful that we're still playing.
They're ready to go. I mean, they're calm. They're having a good time. I mean, this team's so close. I mean, they all look out for each other. They're just ready they're ready to leave tomorrow and get down there and play at 10:30 on Thursday.
Over in Kansas, we're into the semifinal round of the sub-state tournament for all classes, and we've got a ton of our local teams in action this evening. Let's head to Cherokee for the 2A sub-state semis. Southeast boys basketball hosts West Elk, and we get started in the final seconds of the third quarter. Back and forth all night between these two. Maddox Moreno hits a fadeaway 3 at the buzzer. That gives the Patriots a 4-point lead heading to the fourth. Now in the final minutes of the fourth, Moreno again, another triple. That gives the Patriots a 6-point lead with 4 minutes to play. Lancers are in trouble, but here they come. Traysol Galindo with the steal. He lays it in just like that. Southeast down 3 with 100 seconds to play. And again, another steal. This time it's Blake Robinson. He goes down the court and lays it in. Lancers are within 1. They tie it up with a free throw to send it to overtime. Now in overtime, Jackson Bogdan with a jumper that puts West Elk up by 1. Now with 3 seconds left, one last chance for Southeast. They get it into Warner, and he finds Andrew Phillips, who lays it in as time expires. The Lancers win it at the buzzer, and they've got a date with Chase County on Friday in the 2A sub-state final. Elsewhere in Class 2A, Colgan boys basketball handles 1 seed Oswego 61-41. Panthers will face Pleasanton in the sub-state title game on Friday night. Over to girls Class 3A, Girard looks the part of a number 1 seed tonight. Lady Trojans crush Riverton 49-23. They will face Burlington in the championship on Friday. Wildcats beat Caney Valley by 6 on the road tonight. Elsewhere, Neodesha takes down Prairie View by 16. The Lady Streaks move on to the sub-state title game. They'll face Frontenac there, and the Lady Raiders beat Cherryville by 9 on the road tonight. In boys Class 4A, Parsons has its season come to an end. Vikings fall to Eudora 71-54. Big time upset tonight in Chanute. The Blue Comets were the number 3 seed. They were ranked number 5 in the state. They fall to Wamego 38-37. That buzzer beater over at Southeast tonight, that kind of puts things into perspective. If that doesn't go in, your season's over, but it does. They live to fight another day, and you saw the celebration too.
Yeah, you heard that reaction from the crowd. It was
pretty fun.
What they went to see.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Well, of course, super windy for us tonight into tomorrow. We're going to have winds gusting 40, 45, 50, maybe upwards of 55. That rain switching over to a little bit of light snow, but a lot of it will be melted by the time you wake up in the morning. High temp 43, right back to 65 degrees by Friday.
Doug, thanks. Some Southwest Missouri students put their hard work to the test against Mother Nature today. Third graders in Nixa, Missouri engineered houses to withstand natural disasters in recognition of Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Students predicted how their creations would hold up to wildfire, flooding, or dust storms. Then their teachers unleashed some homemade weather to see just how those models fared. Students say these experiments are a lot of fun, as you might imagine. Their teachers know they're also learning a lot.
You could see people's houses fail and their reactions. They're like, oh no, dang it.
I think it's also not just about the science. They're learning so much through this. They're thinking critically, they're learning that empathy piece, they're having to be confident in the solutions that they are coming up with. So yes, it's awesome to build this house and see if it works, but there's so much more to it.
More students-made model homes will be put to the test tomorrow. That is a lesson those students will always remember. Yeah, it sounds like fun. Final look at the sports.
MIAA basketball tournament gets started tomorrow in Kansas City. I'll have the coverage all week as far as our teams make it. Last year, both Pitt State teams made it all the way to the championship. The women ended up winning it last year.
See if it can do it again. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.